Okay. So let me reload this and make sure that... it says I'm live here. I'm just wanting to make sure that this is... Yep, cool. All right. Now let me post to Facebook. This is the part of the stream where I awkwardly share the link around on Facebook and all that. Share in a group. No, I don't want to fucking... What the fuck? Why is it... There. Then... No, not on a... Copy link. Live now. Come say hi. You know what? I'm just gonna copy this link. V post. Okay, done with that. And now, hey, Felix Wolf is in the chat. Sweet. Yo, what did you think of the comment I left on your Albums of the Decade video? Let me also bring out the pop-out chat window there. So yeah, saying that 5 people are watching now. All right, so hey guys, Ranner and Shades here, exercising my First Amendment rights stream style, here with a stream for y'all, and I'm feeling in the mood for just chilling here and talking with you guys. The stream doesn't have too much of a point and whatnot, just to sort of, you know, check in with you guys and whatnot. Because if you haven't seen the post I made on my Facebook or the community tab post I made a couple weeks ago, I'm not going to talk about that here, and I'd appreciate it if nobody brings it up in the chat. But I'm on a bit of a hiatus from video making for a bit because of something that I had to deal with recently. I did say that I might occasionally pop into stream, and this is one of those such occasions. So I'll talk about some stuff with you guys for a bit and, you know, see if we have some fun. As for how I am, Hector Gonzalez, well, if you can't tell by the shirt, I went to a concert last Sunday, Devin Townsend. This was a really fucking awesome show. He had Haken and the Contortionist opening with him. Really excellent prog metal lineup. This was so freaking fun. Haken blew me away. It made me feel like, fuck, why don't I listen to these guys more often? I feel terrible for not listening to them as much as I think I should. And Contortionists were awesome too, and Devi was just fucking excellent. Dude is such a personality and is a great fucking guitarist and vocalist. I had an awesome time with that. What else? I did mention I would probably, you know, start these streams off by talking about shit I've been listening to and whatnot. The newest additions in my iTunes at the moment are the new albums from Polaris and Demons and Wizards. Both of them are pretty good. Polaris I actually got into earlier this year, and Demons and Wizards, of course, is the side project of Hansi Kirch of Blind Guardian and John Schaefer of Iced Earth. And I was interested to see, what this new project of theirs was going to be like, and it's pretty good too. It's called 3. And albums I'm looking forward to this coming week, I have noted down in my little notepad here. Silverstein is putting out their next album this Friday. And the other artist I have marked down here for this Friday is Hot Mulligan, their next album. So I got that to look forward to. So that's what I got going on musically. Now, did I hear about Maroon 5 news? What about them? And what's Felix here saying? Good list, and I'm mad at myself for not including Nothing More self-titled for 2014 honorable mentions. Yeah, you should, because it's an excellent, excellent album. I love Nothing More very much. I've been loving the Dua Lipa and Weeknd hits lately. I love the disco throwback they're doing. Yeah, I'm interested to give Weeknd's stuff a listen. I'm hoping that his stuff can get on the year-end for this year, because I like talking about Weeknd in my year-end videos, because he cool. Might as well mark these emails I got as read. Yes, I heard about that. And thank you for hearting my comment, Felix. I heart you, because you're cool. But yeah, no, I have not been hearing about whatever is going on with Maroon 5, because I don't pay that much attention to them. Like, the newest material, I think I've said this in one of the previous streams, that their new material is just so unbelievably meh that it just doesn't make me feel anything. Red Song Rising is going on indefinite hiatus? Aw, man. I did not hear about that, but that's too bad. I got into them recently as well, too. But, dude, Avenue Teal, what is going on with Maroon 5 that you're wanting me to react to? Because I have no idea. Hello, Chelsea. Do I like Ice Nine Kills? Hell yeah, I like Ice Nine Kills. I included a song of theirs in my Christmas songs video. The song Merry Xmas from their last album, Silent Scream. Ice Nine Kills they're interesting conceptually and musically. They're solid. They're in such a sweet spot between pop punk and metalcore. I label them as post-hardcore. But yeah, and they're also from Mass, so gotta love them there. I used to really love Maroon 5 back in middle and high school, but I don't really care about them anymore besides their older hits. Yeah, I've mentioned before, Songs About Jane is one of my favorite albums of all time. It's an album that I grew up with, and an album that I still have a lot of fun jamming to a lot of the tracks to. It's a shame how bland they sound nowadays. They're playing in Boston when? I need to make note of this, because when they were at Warped, one of the Warps I went to, I missed out on their set, and I feel bad about that. One of these days, I like to see them. I even was talking with Atticus the Death Metaler, because he's also really into Ice Nine Kills. If he ever comes to Massachusetts and Ice Nine Kills is in town, me and him need to go together. So yeah, I'm gonna need to look into this, because I am 6 concerts away from going to my 100th concert. This love has taken its toll on me. She said goodbye too many times before. Yeah, that's a fun song. I loved that shit when I was in elementary school. Thoughts on the new Bond theme, No Time to Die? It's alright. I've definitely said in Best Songs of 2019 that I do have respect for Billie Eilish. I think she's alright. don't like Bad Guy. But No Time to Die is pretty good. They're performing at the Vina Del Mar in Chile, and they sucked so bad. Adam made a very half-assed apology today as well. Oh, that's too bad. It's not fun to suck live, especially if people are reacting this much and you need to apologize for it. And if it's half-assed, boy. That's the only song I like, and that's it. Listen to the rest of the album. Listen to The Sun, Through With You, Tangled, Sweetest Goodbye. Those are my favorite tracks from Songs About Jane, especially The Sun and Through With You. I could play those like all day. Can't get enough of the high note Billy pulls in the song. Yeah, it's good. Maybe if that gets on the air end, I can talk about it there. Because whenever, a pop artist puts something out, or there's a song that's getting a lot of buzz, I always get excited to talk about it in either of my year-end stuff, either of my year-end videos, because that's really, like, where I really, like, go all in, I guess you could say. I felt that way about a number of things in the past, and whenever they don't make it on the year-end, that's usually when I put them in honorable mentions, because, that's where they go. May 5th, Ice Nine Kills at the DCU Center. That's, am I confusing that with fucking Saugus Arena at UMass Lowell? But yeah, I gotta add that to my, this thing I have on my notepad of concerts I might like to go to. It's not over tonight, just give me one more chance to make it right. I might make it through the night, I won't go home without you. Another Maroon 5 reference. You're seeing Disturbed July 30th at Xfinity Center. Disturbed always plays at Xfinity Center, I've come to realize. The 2 times I've seen Disturbed were both at Xfinity Center. I'm not sure I really feel the need to see Disturbed a 3rd time, because the way that I usually am with picking bands to see live, more often than not, it's going to be sort of a one and done, been there, done that kind of thing, unless they have new material that's out that I'm really interested in seeing performed live, or if they just happen to be on tour with another band I'm wanting to see, and, I see them again there. More often than not, it's going to be kind of a one and done thing, unless it's like a band that, I always need to see live. Like, of course, I'm always going to see Alter Bridge whenever they come over here. Same with Joe Satriani. Same thing to an extent with Bayside. But Disturbed, I've seen them 2 times. One at, the first time was at Mayhem Fest in 2011. And the second time was in 2016, where David Draymond made that excellent equality speech that I've talked about on my channel before. I believe I played the clip of that in the Anti-Elitist or SJW's video, and me and Official GATG also talked about it on his channel around the time it happened, because, I was there, and I like bragging about that because it's such an epic moment. Go watch that clip if you haven't seen it. Were you surprised with any of my picks for the decade? The Paramore one, definitely. Then again, maybe that's just me not really being that into Paramore, but that's the only one that really kind of jumped out at me that I was going, wait, what? DVD or Blu-ray? I guess DVD. I don't really care. You're into Duran Duran, Chelsea. They're a pretty solid new wave act. Definitely good. Next on my concert agenda is Dragon Force, finally. I'm going to this with a friend of mine who is also a mod on here, Space Metal Ferrari 248. That'll be fun, though I'm feeling I might snag a ticket for Dropkick Murphys, because it's kind of an unwritten rule for if you live in Massachusetts that you need to go to a Dropkick Murphys St. Paddy's Day show that they always put on every March. So that might be a thing I snag up. Anti-Flag is probably my favorite non-metal band. Yeah, solid hardcore act. Die for the Government is a very good album. I'm a bit iffy on Anti-Flag's politics, but musically I think they're great. Favorite synthwave act? I do not listen to synthwave. Worst concert experience? I remember talking about this in my first stream that I did this year, how the worst concert I've ever been to was Warped 2017, because I got massively drenched on. It was so sunny when I left, and then, like, it randomly decided to start raining really fucking hard, and I was barely able to buy an umbrella there. But the silver lining with that is that one of the outside stages got delayed for a bit, so I got to see more bands that I was anticipating that I thought I was going to have to miss in order to catch another stage. But yeah, that was so miserable. Favorite track from A Flock of Seagulls? That's not their biggest hit, if you know of any. Let me think about this for a minute. Flock of Seagulls. Heartbeat Like a Drum is a pretty good one. Wishing If I Had a Photograph of You, and Never Again, The Dancer. Those are a few other tracks I like apart from I Ran So Far Away. And speaking of that song, I have a joke to tell you. Why couldn't... Fuck off, Facebook. Why couldn't A Flock of Seagulls make it to their Middle East leg of their tour? Because I ran so far away. Bands you feel you've outgrown. I don't really outgrow bands, but the one band that I feel is at all applicable to this, that I listened to a bit of in the past, but I don't really like anymore. The only band that I really feel is applicable to that is Good Charlotte. Space Age Love Song, that's a good one. What else have I been wanting to talk about? Boy? What boy? What are you boying me for? Oh boy. I'm looking at my sub feed right now. I'm seeing a video from ARTV in my feed. Music and politics will always go together. Hot Take Cafe. Something tells me I'm probably going to have a bone to pick with that, but I'm interested to see what he has to say there. I'll get to that, of course, after I finish with hanging with you guys. Hey, Space Metal, how are you? I was just telling the people about the Dragon Force show that we got coming up. If you like the Smiths, Why the Singer Hates Meat, I've definitely talked with you about that before, Chelsea, how I actually do not like the Smiths. That's one of my unpopular music opinions. The Smiths are one of those bands that a lot of people like that I just cannot get into. I also really like Rise Against sometimes. Yeah, Rise Against is one of my favorites as well. They were also pretty cool to see back in 2017 when they were co-headlining with Deftones. Yeah, ARTV is one of my favorites. I'm just curious about what he's going to be talking about in this particular video I'm seeing in my feed. How music and politics will always go together. I mean, sure, they can, but just because they can doesn't mean they necessarily have to, is basically where I come from and whatnot. And you are able to sort of, look at the music and the politics as sort of individual sort of entities. That's sort of one of the things I tried to get across in my What's Wrong With on Rage Against the Machine, which is been getting some comments as of late from people talking about how they're sellouts and whatnot. They're hypocrites. They're these millionaire rockers utilizing capitalism, and it's like, we get it. I don't think that really invalidates anything that they might be trying to say, and that's leaving aside the fact that I don't exactly agree with their politics. But it is what it is. By the way, if you guys didn't know, I actually got a ticket for that Rage Against the Machine tour, which is a huge fucking highlight for me because they were number one in my bands I love to see reunite video, and I'm kind of amazed at the fact that I even got a ticket for that. As amazed as I was when I got the My Chemical Romance ticket, the two big fucking reunion tours of the year, and I'm going to both. It's like, what the fuck? I'm going to be going to New York for this because the show that they have in Mass is at the Boston Calling Festival, and I don't really feel like going to a festival show. So I'm making a trip to New York to see them at Madison Square Garden, of course. And they have Run the Jewels opening with them, so they're going to be my first ever rap act live. So that should be interesting too. My only hope is that no one tries to engage in political discussion with me over there, because that's not what I'm here for. I already know that they're probably going to go on some rant about Trump because, the show's in August. The Democrats will have picked their nominee by then. Of course, they're going to, say some shit about Trump there. And, not that I am not expecting them to, because, come on. But, I feel like I'll be able to look past that and just enjoy myself, because this is a band that I've been waiting for so long to see reunite. Even if they're utilizing capitalism to further their message, this is why I played the Ed Nettie clip in the video, if you can't beat him, show off. Because that's basically capitalism in a nutshell. If Shades unveils his sunglasses, he will shoot laser from him. Maybe. A lot of my cousins love Bad Bunny, but I could never get into his music at all. He's pretty much Lil Yachty if he made Spanish music. Ew. You up for meeting up at Symphony X in May? Yeah. I was under the impression that me and you were gonna, drive to that together as well. Gothic metal or power metal? Power metal without a doubt. I don't really listen to any, gothic metal beyond Typo Negative and, symphonic metal bands that are labeled as gothic. Like, people labeled Nightwish and Within Temptation as gothic, Evanescence as well. I'm not really sure what exactly makes them gothic in any way other than their appearance. But, yeah. I'm not that into gothic music, but yeah. But yeah. While we're on the subject of politics, the Massachusetts primaries were today, and I voted there today. I want to read to you guys this post that I made on my Facebook that I really think that you guys should take something from. First, let me look at my notifications. All right, let me read you this thing. Now that I'm done voting in the Mass primary, I'm going to share some thoughts. I'm not going to disclose who I voted for, though you might figure it out the further you get into this. I wrote this on my notepad some months back with the intent of posting it sometime in the future, but I never ended up getting around to it sooner. This was back when Yang was in the race, and he was my number one. So, although some of this might seem outdated, and I did change a bit of it to fit with the here and now, I still find much of this true to this day. The video linked is also definitely worth a watch, and the video that I linked in this post is Emp Lemon's Trump video. An excellent video. So here's what the thing that I copy and pasted there says. I don't normally share my political views on Facebook because it just isn't fun to talk about, even with people that share my sentiments. I'm not gonna exactly be doing that in this post, but this is just something I'd like people to think about going into the 2020 election. This is a video from one of my favorite YouTubers. The word theory in the title should imply that this isn't exactly a serious video. He doesn't even talk about his own political views or if he agrees with Trump or not. But there is one part of the video that jumps out at me that I want to point out that I've actually noticed even in 2015. The candidate that gets the nomination is usually the one that gets talked about the most in the media. This is why I wasn't the least bit surprised when Trump got the Republican nomination back then, because everywhere I looked it was always Trump this and Trump that, and it was pretty much the same thing with Hillary Clinton. It gives people the impression that that candidate is the only one that matters, so they won't pay any mind to anyone that might actually make for a better candidate. I'm by no means a Trump supporter, and like most people on my friends list, I would like to see him lose his second term. But if you really want that to happen, we need to show that we learned something from 2016. Don't insult your opposition, don't be a dick to people who don't agree with you, actually have dialogue so you can come to an understanding, even if it ends in agreeing to disagree. I barely saw any of this from either side in 2016, and it was honestly sad to observe. And this showed in the Don't Agree With Me, Unfriend Me video that I made back then. Another thing I noticed back in 2016 was that people cared more about Trump losing than anything, and it really showed. Mind you, again, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I don't want Trump to be the focus point in these discussions, let alone the Democrats' campaign strategy. Trump was just as guilty of this too, FYI. By September, October of 2016, the both of them were essentially saying, vote for me because you don't want blank to win. This is also highlighted towards the end of the video when he says, racist Donald versus crooked Hillary. I don't want to see that in 2020, not from you, nor from whoever the Democrats nominate. If you ask me what the biggest problem in the country is, I would say a lot of the things I consider to be high priority problems are rooted in the state of the economy. I'm by no means an expert on how the shit works, if you couldn't tell, but I want to vote for someone who actually wants to tackle the shit right away. This isn't to say issues like climate change, illegal immigration, police violence, etc. aren't important or they don't exist, but I'd sooner focus on economic strategy and things like the job market and homelessness, which are essentially rooted in the economy, before worrying about almost anything else. But if all people will be able to talk about is Trump, 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 bigotry, fascism, etc., it'll be 2016 all over again. Above all that, the Democrats need to nominate someone that does a better job at appealing to moderates and centrists who felt disenfranchised by the left, people like myself. If you really want Trump to lose, getting these people on your side would certainly help. I didn't like Trump or Hillary, so I voted third party, Gary Johnson, in 2016. You can call it throwing your vote away all you want, but he was who I felt the most comfortable voting for. And I'd certainly rather do that than sit the election out, no offense to any of my friends that chose not to vote. So with that in mind, I want the Democrats to nominate someone that I and others like me would want to vote for. I know who I like in the field right now. One of them has since dropped out. But I'm worried that since I don't see them being talked about much compared to the likes of Warren, Bloomberg, and of course Biden, they won't get nominated. And if they don't get nominated, I'm probably going to end up voting third party again, and a lot of others probably will too. And with less people voting Democrat, and with everything being just like 2016, you know what that's going to result in? 4 more years of President Trump. Those who don't understand history are doomed to repeat it. Just something to think about. The end. Now let me catch up with comments. Opinion on Evanescence cover of The Chain, have not listened to it. And Thrash Metal Guru is here. Sup, Justin, my boy. Can Justin be a mod or, I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I think I'm fine with the mods I picked. I have Chelsea, Space Metal Ferrari, and Chai Mocha, aka Dan. I have those 3 as my admins. I'm not sure I need more. Chelsea and Space Metal always seem to be showing up to these, and they're the people that I trust here. Not that I don't trust you, Justin, but yeah, that's that. I guarantee if Hillary won, the third-party voters would have been blamed for Hillary's victory by the conservatives like the centrists that were blamed for by the radical liberals. Exactly. You know, no matter who won in 2016, no one would be happy. People would be, trying to shift blame onto the third-party voters and moderates and people who didn't vote. Everything you saw of the reaction to Trump winning would be the same if Hillary won, just from the other side. Hey, Shades, I want your opinion on Bernie Sanders. Do you like him or don't? And if so, why? Yeah, I like Bernie. If you didn't listen to that, that little post of mine that I was reading to the people here, I I didn't mention Bernie in there, but he is someone that I like. If you didn't figure out from, the people that I mentioned, I guess I'll disclose who I voted for in the primary. I voted Tulsi. I'm well aware that she's probably not going to get the nomination, but honestly, I'm happy with what I did anyway. But if Bernie gets the nomination, I actually will not be upset at all because he is currently my number 2 that's in the race right now. But yeah, I don't mind Bernie at all. I actually think he's all right. I know people have their issues with him. I can see where they're coming from, but yeah. You voted for Trump, good for you. I'm not going to freak out at you like some people might in one line. Like, you voted for Trump? Fuck you! Or anything like that. I'm better than that. But that is the most political you're probably going to see me get. I don't intend on doing anything like that in the future. But yeah, that is how my day went with that. I'm cool with whoever chooses who. See, that is why Thrash Metal Guru needs to be, he really needs to be cherished. He really needs to be, protected and kept safe. Because you're not really going to see very many people like him in the world. He's known for being like the nice guy of the community, and I love him for that. And yes, Felix, she and Bernie are the only people that I like at all in the race right now. Everyone else is... I'm afraid I may ruin a friendship if I tell an example of me not letting my political views get in the way of how I bro it out with someone in this thread, since politics is a very personal thing. Well, if that person lets it ruin the friendship, I think that says more about them than it does you. That's how I see it. That's why I don't really feel any shame these days about making a post like the one I read, is if people are going to get angry at that when my intent isn't really to piss anybody off, I think it says more about them than it does me. It's sort of how I am with videos as well, is if people are going to take offense to something that I say, my intent isn't to come on here and piss people off. I'm not an asshole like that. I'm here to have a discussion. I'm here to get some thoughts out, and I'm here to have fun and engage with the people. And if people are going to get outraged over me doing that, what does it say about them? Boop-a-da-doop-a-boo. No, I meant that Oh, you don't need to go into any further detail here. This is not the place for that. I don't have to worry about pissing off friends with my political views because I have no friends. I don't think that's true. You probably do and you don't even realize it. That's pretty much the way I am. I try to be chill with people of lots of different political views. A person only ever really loses me if they go a bit far out and whatnot. Like, there was a person, Justin will know this person, Silvershank, or Mitch the Bitch, or Bloody Bucket Sinister. I used to be pretty cool with him. He was a pretty fun guy to talk to, but he ended up kind of going full Nazi and whatnot. He made this video called Centrists, where he unironically tried to justify Hitler, and the video got put in that limited state where the related video tab is turned off, comments are turned off, and I think comments might have been turned off for it as well. That's how fucking bad the video was. And that's when I saw that as my cue to, okay, I think I'm done with you now. And, you know, with the left equivalent of that is also what I consider to be too far. Also, they should watch your don't like, don't watch, don't listen argument can be valid. Yep, that's also a good video for, you know, trying to come to an understanding and whatnot. That and the don't agree unfriend, those two kind of go neck and neck, hand in hand. Don't agree with my musical, political, video game, movie tastes? Defriend me. Oh, hello, UTF. Metal elitists in a nutshell, them too. In the end, it's how work on the issues together rather than use our differences as a weapon. Exactly. Yeah. Kind of sucks what happened with Mitch, because I did have a pretty fun time talking with him those years ago. He was an alright dude, but yeah, he kind of went crazy. Oh god, don't remind me of fucking Sean Clark. He was one of the worst in fucking 2015. Do you believe it's harder to have an opinion about music these days rather than 10 years ago? I don't know. These days, I feel you're bound to attract the attention of like-minded people more easily than 10 years ago. Because, you know, back then, you know, if you put a video out trying to defend, say, you know, like if I was making the What's Wrong With videos 10 years ago, I'd probably be fucking swarmed and whatnot. Ugh. Ugh. Now that's when calling someone a fascist Nazi is justified, unlike the far left SJWs like UTF. An alt-right dude who became alt-right. Ah, I see what you did there. But yeah, that sucks what happened with him. But I do wish him the best. As much as I think he's kind of gone crazy politics-wise, I do wish him the best. Is there anything else I want to talk about? UTF is indeed a douchebag. Blaze Life 334. A good bit of the last streams were spent roasting him a little bit. But yeah. Oh man. You know what? I think I'm gonna do a little bit of this. Play a little guitar for you. First, let me know how this sounds for you. He BTW used to say that Slipknot is the worst band ever. Then my friend John Young told me about Sean Clark worshipping them. It's like metal elitists only hate mongers for attention. He worshipped Slipknot at one point. I do remember UTF making a video about Slipknot. It came off as like really generic and whatnot. I did think he made kind of an okay point about back when they had their replacement bassist for Paul Gray standing backstage and whatnot. I thought that was kind of stupid, but no reason to call a band's music bad or anything like that. Did I see The Invisible Man? No. Play some gent. I don't think I'm in the right tuning for it, nor am I playing the right guitar for it. Apologies if I sounded all sloppy at all. Haven't played in a few days. If you don't recognize that riff right there, it's kind of a warm-up riff for me. Full Moon Fever by Bad Moon Rising, a band that I talked about in my Greatest Glam Metal Bands You Never Heard Of video. The riff is very good at, warming you up because it's alternate picking, palm muting, and string skipping all at once. And it's a good arm exercise. Do you like video game music like Sonic the Hedgehog? Yeah, I like Crush 40. I think they're pretty good. The Black Mages are also a, video game themed band and whatnot. They play Final Fantasy music. Of course, Power Glove is another band that comes to mind when I think of it. That's about as much as I go with like video game music and whatnot. Crush 40 has been so amazing. I've been listening to nothing but Sonic music lately. Cool. Are you subbed to Matt Heafy's YouTube channel? No, I am not. I'm surprised my channel isn't controversial. All I do is talk about how dumb a raw carnivore diet is. What's something... like, pick a key, and I will solo in it, or something. That's, I think, a good way to go about this. D minor. Would you ever make an EP all alone? I don't know. I mean, I guess I have material for it, but the reason I don't really want to do anything by myself is mostly because I feel like I'm not creative enough to go solo, and I feel like the best music is a collaborative effort. So that is why I'm not really sure I'm wanting to. I'm actually going to... I'm wanting to play one of the... I'm wanting to play one of my senior recital songs. Let me actually turn the distortion off for this. Ah, fuck. You shred like hell, yet cannot cover a talking song. The most I can really do, turn the distortion back on now. That's like the most I know I can do with Dawkin is just the riff for that and is just those. That's like all I know I can do from Dawkin. But anyway, it's been a while since I've touched that. Didn't I say I could almost play this solo down my dreams? I doubt I said anything like that. I don't think I said anything like that. If I did, then wow, I must have been really bullshitting. Ugh, fuck. Play the forbidden riff. I know what you mean, but I actually do not know how to play that, so no. Sounds like a solo that would have come out of D2. Yeah, I can definitely see that, because, Andy Timmons, I've gone on record saying Andy Timmons is definitely a key factor into what I call my style. The riff sounds like Gemini from GH2. You're talking about the clean thing, that part. Yeah. Oh God, emo and proud's here. I do not like when he comments on my stuff. I let him do it because it's funny sometimes, but I know he's just doing it to get a rise out of people, so don't give him attention. But yeah, here's another thing I remember doing in my senior recital. One of the few, good things I've written on my own. Fun jazzy thing. And now my third admin is present. Hey, Dan. How are you? You're a heartbreaker, dream maker. Marty Friedman picking technique. Oh, God. Oof. What presents will I receive from Dansmas? The same thing everybody receives. A fucking piece of shit in a paper bag that is handed to you as the person tells you to get that shit out of here. The Lil Wayne picking technique. Fucking disgusting. Try playing like Stevie T. I wish I could play like Stevie T. That would be nice. It's like the closest I can really do. Try playing like Fred Durst. Does Fred Durst even play guitar? I don't think he does he? Wes Borland, though, Limp Bizkit's guitarist, is actually pretty good. He's the talent in Limp Bizkit, and the one reason why I even have Limp Bizkit as like a guilty pleasure is mostly because of Wes Borland. Try playing like Paul Gilbert. Oh God. Oh my God. Again, so many freaking like goals. One of these days I really ought to figure out how to actually do the electric drill technique that Paul Gilbert does. He tried, didn't he? I would play like Satriani if I could use my my PRS Floyd that I have been really lazy with taking in for a full body setup because I miss my whammy bar. Fuck, why do I? Let me see. Wow. That's like pretty goddamn close to the melody for Summer Song. Slap bass. I've yet to figure out how to actually properly do slap guitar. I haven't really seen much of a comprehensive explanation on how to actually slap guitar. What do I think of Alan Holdsworth? Rest in peace to Alan Holdsworth, first of all. He was a great guitarist. If anybody knows Alan Holdsworth, you should know who Alan Holdsworth is if you're a fan of Van Halen, because he was Eddie Van Halen's guitar teacher, and Eddie Van Halen took lots of influence from Alan Holdsworth. But yeah. No. Absolutely not. Just for that, I'm putting this down. That's how much you offended me with that, Space Metal. That is how much you offended me with that. But yeah, you should feel bad. Let me check Facebook quickly. No, it's not Dragon Force that offends me. It's telling me to play Dragon Force. Because, you know, I'm not that technically advanced. What is your favorite album from Godsmack? My favorite song, weirdly enough, it's the song that fucking Rock Critic talked about in the I Hate This Song video that he made, Bad Religion. You know, he's allowed to think what he wants about it, but I personally think that song's fun to play, honestly. That's my favorite song from Godsmack, and favorite album of theirs would be the self-titled. Would I grow my hair out? I don't know. I don't know if I really can at this point. I like this style that it's in, the little, swooped style that I refer to as the told. I'm sure I could if I wanted to, because, the front does tend to get long in the span of like a couple weeks and whatnot, but I'm not sure if I'm wanting to go back to, my previous hairstyle, even though I got nobody telling me that I can't. So, as evidenced by that little tangent I went on, yes, I do watch Crash Thompson. I think he's a very, very good YouTuber, even though I don't always agree with him. But, yeah, as far as the way he structures his videos, his editing, the personality he brings, yeah, I respect the crap out of him. Jordan by Buckethead. I saw him play that live, and it was great. Yes, CKN retired. That made me sad. It made me sad too. I loved seeing his insights. He's a great YouTube daddy. And as for your second comment there, you see, this is why I don't really like acknowledging this channel, is because he says really cringy shit like that. And Mortified Productions is now here. Yeah! I promise I won't cut the stream like I did the last time you popped in. I'll try to, go on for a little while longer so I can let Mortified Productions have a little fill and whatnot, because he deserves it. He deserves lots of things. He deserves lots of nice things. But yeah, I'm looking forward to whatever you do next. I think you had mentioned you were wanting to review, I forget if you said you were working on a review for the new Korn or the new Slipknot, but yeah. You've been exposed, all right. Just not the way I would like you to be exposed. Yeah, I've missed you too. You even sexier beast. Now what the fuck? Who's trying to message me now? Yeah. How have you been doing, Dead Monkey? How have you been doing? Because I very rarely get to hear from you much. But, both albums, actually. Yeah, I'm looking forward to really whatever it is you do, because I just love your goddamn content. No, I actually really can't. I can only partly play Eruption. This is why I don't think I'm that great of a guitarist, in all honesty. I'm I mostly just like noodling around. I'm not really that into playing other people's songs. It's part of the reason why I don't really like the idea of playing in cover bands is because I'd be terrible at it. Any freshly announced albums? Freshly announced. Well, like I mentioned earlier in the stream, I got Silverstein's new album on set for this Friday, which I'm looking forward to. As for anything else that I'm excited about, Joe Satriani, of course, has a new album coming out in April. I'm excited for that. What else? Code Orange, I'm looking to check out. Violent Soho, Enter Shikari, The Used, Trivium, Havoc. Lamb of God, I might check out their new album. Maybe. I'm still kind of bummed about Chris Adler not being in the band. And Dan Sugarman. Those are the names, the confirmed names that I have written down on my notepad here for albums with release dates and whatnot. Meh, I've been kind of up and down. TBH, X, HBU. We haven't really talked much. Yeah. I've talked a good bit earlier in the stream. You can go back and rewatch a lot of what I've been up to, such as talking about the concert that I went to on Sunday of Devin Townsend, Contortionist, and Haken. Excellent fucking prog lineup that I know you would jizz yourself over, because I know how much you love Devi. But yeah, that was fun. But yeah, those are the albums that I know are like on deck. Currently, my album of the year, which I'm expecting to pretty soon be topped. Currently, my album of the year is Dragged Under, their EP, The World Is in Your Way. Which, by the way, when I saw The Used last month, I got a selfie taken with Tony, the singer in Dragged Under, which was formerly Rest Repose. I saw him walk into this coffee shop while I was waiting out in line, and I'm like, holy shit, is that Tony? And when he came out, I was like right in front of the door, and I pulled him aside for a selfie, and he kind of remembered who I was when I mentioned that I was the one videotaping my VIP questions when I saw Rest Repose back in 2018, which the video of that is on my channel if you want to check that out. Seeing Korn was a huge recent highlight. Besides that, just in the process of moving by the end of this month. Ooh. And dealing with a medical problem. Oh no. No, I don't like that. Shirt is fucking mint, dude. Yeah, I like this design a lot. It's got an elephant on it. I've been mostly focusing on albums from the past few years. Yeah. Now I have Summer Song in my head. Gotta love that. What do you want, Facebook? Any albums you think have great music but terrible artwork? Good question. I don't know. The kind of artwork I define as terrible is like really plain looking stuff. Um, Not really much is coming to mind. I suppose an example would be like the White Album from the Beatles. Um, it feels like there were a shitload of comebacks in the past few years, and I got a feeling this year is mostly going to be newbies on my part. Like newer artists and whatnot. I mean, as far as tours this year, that's like the opposite of that. Like every which way I'm looking, there's like these big tours being announced, um, which, you know, is cool. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, giving the newbies a chance, that is something that is very productive in this day and age. And I like that. I like that a lot. You know, it's always nice to, you know, break out of your comfort zone a little bit, give a new band a shot, because there may come a time where they become the biggest band in the scene and whatnot. And, you know, you ought to be one of those guys that was there from the beginning. And that's what I try to do with a lot of bands. So I can have that hipster cred and be like, you know, I was into them before they got big. I'm going to try and expand my horizons this year. The list that I'm making for 2017 and 2018, I have a handful of artists that I feel like typical suspects. Typical suspects. Yeah, I can already kind of see that. Like I know Korn. I think Korn put out something in 2017 or 2018. I haven't really been keeping up with like more recent Korn. I tend to sort of stop after issues. Bad Wolves, their own thing, or Discount Five Finger Death Punch. I don't really see them as being much of a Discount Five Finger Death Punch. I think they have better musicians personally, a much better vocalist. I don't know. I think it's kind of I don't feel right comparing them to Five Finger Death Punch, aside from the fact that they're both alternative metal bands. Cause and aside from the fact that they both do cover songs and whatnot. I think Bad Wolves, they have a good bit to offer. The song Remember When is absolutely excellent. I love that. But yeah, they're cool. Besides a handful of artists I'm less familiar with, Bad Wolves is to Five Finger Death Punch what Soen is to Tool. Tool's an interesting band to compare Soen to. But yeah, I do find it interesting, Dead Monkey, that you're making lists for 2017 and 2018 to sort of, I guess, fill in the gaps between your 2016 and 2019 lists. Personally, I'm not really sure how necessary that is for you, but if you want to do it, by all means. 2018 was quite an awesome year for albums. 2017 I didn't really like as much, but it was all right. Do you listen to Highly Suspect? If so, thoughts on MCID? I've heard the name Highly Suspect. I don't think I've ever checked them out. I do know of the MCID thing because I remember ARTV talked about it in one of his videos about bad album covers that he made recently, and how just plain that album looks. It's like, ugh. 2017 list script is finished, currently chipping at 2018. I doubt I'll get that one done soon. I think I've been practicing guitar more than writing as of late. I mean, That's a good excuse. I'll give you that. I mean, I do kind of the same thing sometimes, but yeah. Videos that are going to be super irrelevant, but I'm having fun making them. And that's the thing that matters the most, is that you're having fun and the people that care are enjoying what you're putting out. That's the attitude I like having with making videos is, you know, I mean, you can play the numbers game all you want, but at the end of it all, you know, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, what's the point? Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The numbers game I've often seen kind of kills people. It kind of makes people angry and unhappy, and that's why I get kind of bummed out whenever somebody, you know, they're like making a video essentially complaining about the numbers game and whatnot. Um, and I've sort of done that too with the feedback survey. I'd be lying if I said I never fell into that trap myself, but it's always kind of depressing whenever people, you know, are venting frustrations about that, because it's like, listen, you know, I get that this is like your job and whatnot, but like honestly, you know, as long as you're enjoying what you're doing and it's getting you by, then who's complaining? Attila or Amur? Probably Amur. I don't really listen to either, but I kind of appreciate or respect Frankie Palmieri more than I do Franz. Numbers is more secondary. The business side of content creation for those who are making it a career can be so depressing if you're not hitting the mark you're looking for. But it's about being ... Yeah, it's totally understandable if you're not meeting a particular quota to like break even or anything like that. I get that it can be stressful. It's part of the reason why I'm glad YouTube isn't my job, is because I can't imagine how I would deal with that kind of stress. Always feeling like I constantly need to be getting content out to, you know, keep shit afloat and whatnot and keep myself relevant or anything like that. Um, I can only imagine how painful that would be. Content with Content with the content you're making, that's what should keep you going. Someone's behind me? No. No one's behind me. If I did, I would probably know by now. Because the only person in this house is my mom, and she is not down here. But yeah, ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm doing what I do because, you know, I have fun with it. I like engaging with the people. I like getting thoughts out. I like the video making process, and I feel that should show in what I do. And that's how I roll these days. And I like that. And with that, I think that's a nice note to end this on. So thanks for chilling with me. Thanks for listening to me play guitar. Thanks for not getting too heated when I went on that political tangent. And maybe I'll see you sometime soon. I got no videos in the work in the moment because of the hiatus. But I assure you, it'll most definitely be a good one. No, I didn't. I didn't fall for anything. Tough question, Shades, but if you... no. I meant... you probably didn't see this at the beginning of the stream, Chelsea, but I don't really want to talk about anything like that. Because it's not really the place. I don't really like getting too personal on here because I just don't really think it's the place. I'll probably talk about that with you sometime privately, but now is not the place, especially since I'm about to end the stream. So, again, thanks for stopping by, and I will see you next time.